What's up, everybody? Welcome. Happy Monday. Beginning of another week of stacking. Man, all the shenanigans of last week, and the price is right back where it was the previous week. It's awesome. Cool. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the StackSats Show, your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Paul. What up, Paul? Good to see you in here. Carlos Aramillo in the house. Leonard. What up, Leonard? Yeah, I think I caught something, guys. I don't know if it's like the beer virus or just, I don't know. But I skipped jiu-jitsu today because I didn't want to get anybody else sick. I think it's like, I don't know, it kind of feels like a, I don't know, kind of like a cold. So my voice was a little weird. BTC Backpacker in the house. What up? Oh, shoot. James Acito in the house. What up? Hey, good to see you in here. Thanks for tuning in. That's cool. Super cool. It's the stat virus. I caught the stat virus and I'm terminally. Just kidding. That's terrible. It's terrible to mess with. No, I am definitely caught the Satoshi bug. All right, guys, let's jump into the first segment of the show that we like to call the Sat Strength. Grr, flex mode. Grr. Today, the price of Bitcoin is $378.06. $67,376.59. You can buy 1,484 Satoshis for a single dollar today. If you're new to the show and you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about, a Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin. We call it sats for short. Okay? For $1 today, you could buy 1,484 Satoshis. If you can accumulate 100 million Satoshis, you in essence have a whole Bitcoin. Just like if you can accumulate 100 cents, you in essence have a whole dollar. Okay? So when you look at the price of Bitcoin, don't be scared and say to yourself, "Oh, I'll never be able to afford a Bitcoin. It's too expensive. I will need to save up for it." That's where you're going wrong. You don't save up to buy Bitcoin. You save in Bitcoin. Okay? All right. Let's say you're walking down the street minding your own business. You look down, you see a penny, you pick it up, and all the day you'll have. Possibly, if you take that penny and sell it for Bitcoin, you'll get 14.85 Satoshis. Bitcoin is contagious. Yeah, Bitcoin is contagious in a good way. That's right. That's right. All right, so there it is. That is the Sat Strength. Keeping it short and sweet today. It's a Monday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I didn't go boogie boarding. I didn't do anything stressful, taxing on the body. Because I wanted to see if I could get over this thing before today, so I can go to class today, but not happening. So we'll see. Maybe I can make class on Wednesday. But yeah, it's weird. Just drinking lots of water. I don't feel bad. I just, now that I start to speak, I can feel it in my throat. I can feel the I don't know, like the roughness or whatever. Anyway, all right. Let's get into the next segment of the show, what we like to call Why We Stack. All right, we're gonna keep this one short and sweet. All right, honey and tea. I'll do that right after the show. I should have done that before the show. I wasn't thinking. Why do we stack sats? Why do we save in Bitcoin? I can't speak for you guys. I can't tell you why you guys do, but I'll tell you why I do. Okay? I save in Bitcoin because I understand that as long as you save in paper, and that paper keeps inflating. They keep printing more and more paper. The value of each individual note is worth less and less. Because today, officially, we have crossed into a $35 trillion debt. $35 trillion in debt. It's crazy. It's crazy. With a crazy high interest rate, and we need to pay that back. And how are you going to pay it back? How are you going to pay back the debt that is more than the money in existence? By printing more money, of course. And as they print more money, your individual units of that money become worth less and less. So we get ourselves out of that system. We take our value that we work so hard for and exchange it for Bitcoin or Satoshis. And when we do that, the value of our Satoshis increases over time against the dollar, against any other paper money. And now the system, instead of stealing from us, is in a way making us richer. It's how the rich get richer and how the poor get poorer. Okay? Only this time, we don't need to come from money already to invest in assets that retain their value against the dollar. We can start with something small like $5 a day, $10 a day, $20 a day, even $50 a week, $20 a week. Whatever feels comfortable to you. As you begin your Bitcoin journey and you start to learn more and more about it, you'll realize that instead of saying only invest about 1% or 2% of your portfolio, only invest 1 or 2% of the money you feel comfortable losing, or only invest what you feel comfortable losing. What we should say instead is only hold as much paper money as you're comfortable getting debased on. Okay? Only hold as much paper money as you're comfortable getting debased on. Or to wrap it up, to make it short and sweet, let's stick to our classic, developed here on the show, the one and done elevator pitch for why you should save in Bitcoin. Saving in Bitcoin is like traveling back in time and giving yourself a continuously increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked for as long as you hold the Bitcoin that represents those hours. That's it. Clip that, send it to a friend, and then have them come back here if they need me to explain it to them. It's a dense statement. I get it. But it is exactly what we're doing here on the show. And we talk about it. We talk about it and we do about it. We don't just talk about it, we are about it. So let's lead into the next segment of the show that we like to call the Stack Recap. In the Stack Recap, we review our purchases for the show since we started the show back in May 2023. May 22nd, May 20, is it? What is it? Yeah, May 22nd, 2023. Bitcoin Pizza Day. We started this channel and we did our first episode. And we started stacking $5 a day, Monday through Friday. And then we bumped it up to 10, and now we're doing $20 a day. But since then, our show has accumulated about 0.2599 Bitcoin. We're up about 60% in our savings without having to do anything else except for just buy Bitcoin. Jamesito, is it your birthday? Happy birthday. Happy birthday to James. That's cool. Happy birthday, man. Many more. In 2024, we started tracking our buys on a whole different sheet. Oh, May 22nd is your birthday? That's cool. Well, happy birthday anyway. In 2024, we started the sheet all over again, where we just track purchases for 2024. And in our main sheet, we track all the purchases, so they include 2024. But we thought it would be easier for newcomers to understand what we're doing here if we started a new sheet every year. And so in 2024, if you would have started stacking sats in 2024 at the beginning of the year, January 1st, until now, and stuck to your guns and said, you know what, I'm doing $20 a day, I'm doing $10 a day, I'm doing $100 a week, whatever, you would be up about 21% on your investment. In other words, you would have saved $4,037, and your $4,037 worth of Bitcoin, 7.2 million Satoshis, would be worth about $4,896. In other words, you would need 21% more of today's weaker dollars to buy the same amount of Satoshis. Okay, this is showing you it's showing you that the dollar is depreciating against the Bitcoin. All right. So that said, we know where we're at. Let's check our 100 days of Bitcoin stacking. How's that going? We're minus 0.112, so we're still in the negative, but it's okay. It's a stack of sats that we have in our treasury reserve for the show anyway. All right, our stuff that we sold. Haven't sold anything new this week. I did get some hits on another pair of boxing gloves, but that guy was lowballing me way too hard. He wanted to like pay like something crazy, like $20 or something like that. I was like, get out of here. So hopefully I can sell this for another $40, and we'll add it to our stack. So far, we're still up on the sewing machine. We're still up on the Pelican case, but we're down about $1 on the boxing gloves. But that's okay. We'll take the sats any day over the cash and over the physical item that's just sitting there with locked up Satoshis. Operation Flipping Sats is underway, and I'll update the sheet when we sell something. When I sell something, I have a bunch of stuff listed still. All right, so that brings us over back to the main sheet, and since the price of Bitcoin today is 67,000, it's above our average buy price of 59,000 in 2024. That means that today we're going to be stacking $20 worth of Bitcoin. So now that we know how much Bitcoin we're going to buy, there's only one thing left to do. It's time. It's time to stack some sats. Back in the day, we called Bitcoin stacks. Now it's just a strategic reserve. That's true. This is very true. A strategic reserve for whatever entity you're doing. That's true. It's very true. It's very true. Makes it more palatable. All right, here we go. Wow. I need to do the T for sure, guys. Sailor for Treasury Secretary next. Yeah. Imagine. Man. Like we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that during the Q&A section. I like the topics you guys are bringing up right now. Okay, so let me just do this before I get confused. I end up dumping my whole wallet on here. Okay. There we go. We're buying some Bitcoin, $20 worth of Bitcoin over on Swan, right on this nice little dip. No, not Swan. I'm sorry, on Strike. Buy, queuing it up. $20 on Strike. Cut the music. Next, drum roll, please. And it's processing. Boom. And just like that, we stacked $20 worth of Bitcoin for an additional 29,475 Satoshis. Kick off the conversation while I update the spreadsheet, and I'll jump into the conversation as soon as I'm done updating the spreadsheet. Here we go. Today is 7/29/24. We share all this data because we want to inspire people to look at it and decide, hey, maybe I should give this a try. Hey, this guy just puts $5 a day and he's up a bunch. He's up 60%. Imagine if I did this much or that much, right? And $10 a day, $5 a day, $20 a day, it's very doable. Okay, it's very doable. If you can't do just whatever the minimum of your exchange is, if you want to do less than that per day, then do it every week, right? The point is to get started and to get started on learning. And the more you learn of it, the more of Bitcoin you understand. Instead of being swayed from it, the more you get into it because you start to understand the real value of it. And you understand that you should be stacking as hard as you possibly can. And maybe the things that you're doing in your day-to-day life, maybe you shouldn't do some of those things, instead stack that value. Checking back on our German sats when the Germans were selling their 50,000 Bitcoin and lowered their price to 57,000, 54,000 even. Look at that. We're up $4 on that buy. We're up about $4 on that buy. What about $6 on that one? $6. So yeah, we're doing good. Those German sats for the win. Still paying off, right? All right, and we keep buying. That's the plan. So I'm gonna update the spreadsheet on the cumulative side, and then we'll check what our overall total is for the show. Boom. Okay. So, for the whole show now, did we get to 25? Oh, we got 0.26. Let's go. 0.26 Bitcoin for the show. There it is. Just like that. Again, this is not a flex. This is just a record of the show's stack. This spreadsheet is available for you to mess with, scrutinize, and make calculations against. It has every single buy that we've done on the show. Even on days when I can't make the show and I still stack for the day, I put it into the sheet. Okay, so most of these buys, there's an episode of our show associated with it where you can watch me actually buy it live. Pretty wild. Living on a BTC standard gives me 10% raise. Give me a 10% raise this month. Let's go. Nice job, Carlos. Phil in the house. Phil C in the house. What up, Phil? Good to see you in here. Hope everything is good. Let's stack some more sats. Let's go. So we just did a little stack, Phil. We got about 29,475 Satoshis to the stack. And for the lifespan of the show, we are at 0.26 Bitcoin. That's wild. That's wild. 0.26 Bitcoin. We started stacking May 22nd, 2023. And it's just been good. It's been good. All right. Let's see. We had... Let's see. Where are we at here? We had... Let's see. Crazy. All right. So... let's do the last part of the show, the Q&A. What up, Andrew? Good to see you in here. Hey guys, I'm a little bit late, but better. No, it's always good to see you. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Bill. Sorry for Phil. Sorry for Andrew and Phil. Man, it's been good. Hope you had a good weekend. I caught something last week, and I didn't do the boogie boarding I thought I was going to do this weekend because I might make myself get even more sick. But overall, I had a pretty good weekend. Just relaxing and trying to get better, trying to get healthy. Yeah, but it's good. All right, so yeah, isn't that wild? Let me go back to that document. This is in 2020. This is for the whole lifespan of the show. So yeah, it's we talk about sometimes here on the show. We talk about like going back in time and looking at the price of Bitcoin, May 22nd, dude. It was like $27,000, and like it reminds me of a I don't know where I saw this interview, but it was an interview with Michael Saylor. It was when I first got into Bitcoin, and I was going through like the whole orange pill process. And on one of his interviews, Michael Saylor said, when you start buying Bitcoin, the only regret you have is that you didn't stack enough or you didn't stack harder. You know, like he said something like when you find one of the best investments you have in your lifetime, the only regret you'll have is not going in harder, right? And like, damn, dude, we knew it, I knew it, and this was even after I have seen that interview. Only stacking $5 when it was 27,000 on that day, right? Or right here when it was 25,000 for the show. For the show, we missed the 15.5 dip. This is a little bit after the 15.5 dip. But imagine only stacking. We did $25 this day. That's good, but still, we did a quadruple stack that day because it was the lowest we had seen. $25,151. Dang. If you go back and buy at this price, what would you stack? What would you do? Was it worth it? Yes. That meme of like that meme with what's the Avengers villain? The guy that snaps his fingers and deletes half the world or half the beings in the world or in the universe. What's his name? Anyway. That guy, when his daughter asks him if it was worth it, Phil, that smash buy for 1,000 was ridiculous, dude. But like, it never went negative, pretty much. There's a $200 buy. There's a $200 buy when we. What was that? I forget what that was for. We're celebrating something. It's a 1,000. I don't see that. Oh, there it is. The $1,000 smash buy is almost doubled. That's crazy. It's almost doubled. Yeah, Thanos. Thank you. Thanks, Carlos. Yeah, when Thanos is like after he did his thing and he's like in, I don't know if he's in heaven or he's in hell or whatever, but he's like floating in that water, and what did it cost you? Everything. Oh my gosh. Okay, so keep that idea in your mind. Okay, the idea of being able to go back to November 7th, 2023, and stacking at 35,000, or to whatever it was. Hard Hollow in the house. What? Yo, a full house today. What up, Hard Hollow? Good to see you in here. Hope everything is good with you. Oh my gosh. So that idea, right? And then we go back to now, and we look at the prices of Bitcoin right now, and where do you think the price of Bitcoin is going to be a year from now, right? Will it, even 1 year from now, right? Will we look back and say, oh man, I was buying $20 worth of Bitcoin. I wish I could have bought more. Mr. Android in the house. What up, Mr. Android? Good to see you in here. Third world countries are rough. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Oh my gosh. Welcome back. Welcome back. The beaches look beautiful there though. It looked amazing. So hope you had fun. Yeah. You know what they say? The best part of traveling. No. What's it called? They say traveling is I want to say misery, but traveling is like challenging. Traveling is misery, and getting home is what's really the best. Like remembering the travel is what's fun. Remembering the crap you went through is what's fun. Right? Story time. One time. Yeah, exactly. So I remember the first time I went to Europe. Not the first time. One of the times I went to Europe, I went to Spain. And man, I don't did I have a cell phone? I don't even think I had a cell phone. Now that I think about it. No cell phone. Or if I had a cell phone, it was just a cell phone to call with. It wasn't internet on my phone. I went to Barcelona. And I got off the plane. I went to the money exchange right before you leave the restricted area, like after you got your baggage and stuff. Right before you step out to the curb where like the taxis are, there's a exchange house right there inside the airport. So I went over and I got I got some money, some local currency, some euros. And I was so preoccupied with like hiding the money somewhere, keeping it stashed somewhere, that when I was after I stashed my money, I left like it was like I had a couple of sheets of notes like folded in half. It's like that big. I left it on the counter with the address of the hotel I was gonna stay at and where I was gonna go. Right. It was a list of hostels. I think it was a list of hostels that I was gonna go to. And I remember it was raining too. So anyway, I get the money, I put it in my pocket, and I leave, and I walk out of the restricted area where they say you can't go back in. And I left the papers there. I had my passport, everything was good, but I lost my notes where I was gonna stay, or the hostels I was gonna go check out. I was like, oh my god. Instantly I'm like, okay, I don't even know where to go. So I just jumped in the taxi. I made it to like Las Ramblas, like the center of Barcelona, and I found an internet cafe. Went to the internet cafe, It was raining too. It was raining, and I didn't have an umbrella. So I'm walking around looking for an internet cafe so I can go back online and re-download my notes and print them out, or at least write them down so I knew where I was gonna go look for a place to stay, where the hostels were. And on my way to the, I think on my way to the internet cafe, I passed this like, it was like this guy who just had like a cart full of umbrellas. He tried to stop me an umbrella. I was like, no thanks. And I just kind of walked to the internet cafe and I got my notes again, wrote them all down, and I had the addresses of the places that I thought, of the places that were hostels where I could go see if I get a room. And dude, it was crazy because I went to one of the places where it was a hostel, and it was like a building. You would walk into the building and it was like multiple stories. But if you walked into the building and you looked up, you could see the stairs all the way up. They were kind of like this. The stairs were made out of like almost like a mesh, but more sturdy than the mesh. It was metal, but like a grate, like metal grates. Like the stairs were all made out of metal grates, and you go all the way up, and then you as you're going up the staircase, you knock on the floor that you're gonna go into, and then that floor has to buzz you in, right? Well, this hostel that I was gonna go see if they had rooms at was like maybe like the 7th or 8th floor. I don't even know if there was that many floors. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe like the 3rd or 4th floor. Anyways, it was close to the very top. Okay. And again, it was still kind of early in the day, but it was raining. And I walk into this place. I go up the stairs to the floor I think where the hostel is, according to my notes. And while I'm knocking or ringing the little bell and waiting for them to come get the door, or to buzz me in, or to ask me a question or something, I hear the door at the base of the building where I came in open up, like slam open, like bam, just like slams open. And I look down and I can see like movement, because you kind of see through all the grates, even though I was kind of looking through the stairs. And I hear like this loud thud, boom, and like just runs into the building, goes up some stairs. And I'm like, dude, this is crazy, because he was in a hurry, right? And I'm above all the action, and I think the guy either went back downstairs and left, or he went into one of the floors below me. But I saw all the commotion. I heard all the commotion. I don't know if somebody was chasing this guy or whatever, right? But after like about another like 5 minutes or so of waiting for the people to open the door at this floor, nobody opens. So I make my way back down the stairs, and as I'm getting towards the base door to get out of the building, I see there's a bunch of blood on the floor right there. Like the guy that ran in was like bleeding, right? So I'm like, holy shit. I'm like so freaked out. I'm like, oh my God. So I just like get out of there, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not freaking out, but I was like, wow, that's crazy. So I just walk out of that building. I go back towards my next destination, right? And this would have been like the second time. The second time I passed the umbrella salesman was when I was before I went into that building. So like now it's kind of like starting to be a joke, right? He's sitting there. He looks at me, and instead of just telling me, "Do you want to buy another umbrella?" He kind of like holds it out, like offers it, like, "Am I gonna buy it?" And I'm like, "Oh no, thank you." And I kept walking, and so that happened in the building, and I got out of that building, and I went to this other hostel, and I was on my way to the next hostel to go check it out, and I passed the umbrella guy again, and the umbrella guy said, "Hey, do you want an umbrella? Like, do you want an umbrella now?" And my response was like, what for? Like, I'm already wet. Like, I was already like walking around in the rain so much that I was already wet. So I was like, it's too late anyways, whatever. So I keep walking. Anyway, I find I think it was either the second or third hostel on my list. It's legit. No one fleeing for murder, right? But it was crazy. That was a crazy trip. That was a crazy beginning to a trip. From there, that was like the worst part of the trip. The rest of the trip was amazing. It was super fun. Saw some bullfights. Had a bunch of fun. It was cool. But that was like the most shocking part of that whole trip, was like the beginning. I know, dude. Like, I don't want to be a murder witness. I just got here, right? Or even worse, like you walk out of the building and whoever was doing the murdering thinks you're the guy that got away, and they're gonna come finish the job. You know, that was scary. So it was wild. It was wild. So yeah, it's stuck in my memory. So still, even with all that, the best part of the trip was getting home. I love being home. I love being home. Cool. All right. So I think that's all I got for you guys for this episode. There was something that came up that we're gonna talk about. Yeah, living on a Bitcoin standard just gave me a 10% raise. That's sick. No, it wasn't even me. That's funny. Yeah. All right, boys. I think that's all I got for you guys today. I like to keep these shows kind of short and sweet. The objective here again is to just get some Bitcoin stacked and to inspire you guys to do the same, or to at least look into it, right? If you have a friend or family member that doesn't want to hear it from you anymore, they want to hear it from somebody else, maybe bring them into the show. I'll talk to them directly. If you have any questions about Bitcoin, setting up your wallet, all that kind of stuff, I'm available on our Discord server. I'll put the link in the chat here. Again, I'm not charging for any of these services. I just want people to not lose their sats or their Bitcoin and be turned off from Bitcoin because they have a question that needs answering as far as self-custody. Okay, remember, we recommend you buy Bitcoin, you take self-custody of it, and you have a wallet that has your own keys, right? Other than that, no problem getting us. Yeah, fun. Hey, good to see you too. Good to see you, Andrew. I know you stay up late for the show, so I appreciate you jumping on. All right, boys, we'll talk tomorrow for another episode of the Stack Sats Show. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Later, guys.